Hi, Cali VMX videos here now. Today I'm going to show you how to take apart your cranks, your I don't know, crank axle, and show you how to put the sprocket, chain, and rear wheel back on. So you start off by undoing your pinch bolts. Those are tight. Okay. You don't have to take them out all the way, just get them loose so that they'll slide off. There we go. Then you undo the compression bolt on either side. If you have the 48 spline ones where it just uses one compression bolt, then just take it out. Oops. Righty tighty, lefty loose. There we go. Take this out all the way. You should be able to do it by hand. There we go. This should just slide right off. There you go. Now you don't actually have to do it on this side. This side will just come out if you want. There's your bottom bracket bearing. You can have greasy. There's a spacer inside that keeps it from going more deeper inside the frame. But get that on there just for the sake of it. So there's your spindle, then your crank. Basically what happens is you line it up, your crank goes in, your compression bolt goes in, and then you tighten that down once everything is all together. So this is doesn't matter. Usually spindles, doesn't matter what side you put them in. Okay. Get it in there so it's lined up with the spacer. There we go. And you don't have to get it perfect, but it's nice too. You're gonna have your little composite spacers, I guess. Now, put the cone-shaped goes on the non-drive side, and the flat side goes on the drive side, because you have this little spacer right here that fits perfectly into the sprocket, like so. Oops, wrong side. There we go, like that. It drops right in. Take that. The washer always faces that plastic spacer right there. There you go. Then you take your crank, just get it on. There we go, sorta. And you take your other crank, line it up. Okay, just about finished here with the bottom bracket and sprocket. Take your compression bolt, just get them threaded in. You should be able to do most of this by hand. And kind of just get them threaded in, don't crank them down yet. And that side's just about finished. There we go. Getting that in there. Okay. It spins nice and smooth, but you see you can still move that. That's because there is one little bolt missing. Right there, you see how it's scratched? And it's kind of wider. See how it kind of goes up and out, other than the straight down like that. So we're going to have to line that up. Let's flip the bike around so you can see. So you get that. That's where the bolt goes. You find that thicker part right there. Then there's a bolt that goes in there. Right here. That's what it looks like. Has a little cone-shaped tip. Just get it in there and start threading it. Take your Allen key and start tightening. Cranking this one down is not that important. I mean, if you don't want to, I mean, it is, but you don't have to like it. The tension's not what matters. As long as the bolt is in, your bike's gonna pedal. But just because I like everything nice and tight and I hate rattling, I'm gonna crank it down a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Tight. Now, you take your compression bolt and finish the job with the cranks. Make sure they're nice and tight. Okay. Once that's finished, you can tighten your pinch bolts so they won't wobble. Because if these wobble, then that'll eventually go loose. And then that's happened to me like twice, where my crank has actually come off, and I got pretty gnarly, pedal grab, and fell off my bike, and it was pretty bad. And just get that side nice and tight. There we go. Okay, we just put the sprocket on. They spin. That's a good sign. Now, next step. Now we got our chain here, as you can see. This is a KMC half-link chain. Half-links are way better than single-link just because they're stronger and they're awesome. Start off by... Let's flip the bike around. There we go. Take it. It helps me, but go under. So if you want, if that's like your first time, you can take the chain, go around like that. Never go like this. The cog's always on the inside. The inside of the frame. There you go. If you don't have it, if you don't have the length set up yet, then I highly recommend you set your chain to the right length. You get a chain breaker here, and get the chain all lined up. There's the pin. Come on. You got the pin there. You line up the chain. Set it in the chain breaker so you can push the pin back in. I think I paid like $6 for this chain breaker at like my bike shop. You can get a really cheap one, they work fine. Go with an expensive one that's all like comfortable and has a rubber grip. I just used this cheap Chinese one. Then just slowly twist. Here, I'm gonna set it down for a sec. Take a little. You gotta get the pin lined up perfectly with the thing because this is a cheap one. But there we go. Now it's just gonna push that pin back in place. Just give it a twist. It's gonna be tight at first, but once you ride it, then it'll loosen up and it'll function like normally. Like this link, it's not gonna want to bend as much as it used to. But that's fine. There you go. The pin should be evenly placed in just like all the others. I got it off a little bit to this side, which is going to make it like not want to bend, and that's premature wear and stuff, all that stuff that's not fun to mess with. There we go. There you go. Another like perfectly linked chain. And look, it's still, well, yeah, it likes to flex. We're good. Now we get our back rim, and we get our little rim thing. I don't know. You don't need them. They really prevent your tire from getting like the spokes touching it and pinch flats and all that. And they just look a lot nicer than, bare metal. Roll it around till the two valve holes match up. like so. There we go, and just make sure it's flopped out the right way. Take your finger. It's going to be a really tight fit, but take your finger, run it along until all of it goes on the inside, like that. Then run your finger along, make sure it's nice and even, not like off to the side, like it is there. There we go. Work out any of the kinks, and there you go. It's installed. Now take your tire and tube. These are Blue People feeling tires. They are pretty awesome. They grip really well, but they suck on dirt. So take that, go on your rim, find your valve hole, and might have come unaligned. If it's real tight like this, take an Allen key and just scoot it over. Like that. Take the valve on the inner tube, slide it through all the way. There we go. And begin to work the tire onto the rim. Take that.
How's it going?